welcome back to my F1 22 My Team career mode. We are on episode 14, I'm pretty sure. Because I think, 14. And this is, I'm pretty sure this is race 4 in this season 2 16 race calendar. Yes, we are going to Miami. And this is just what me and Mick got for the discounts after FP3 in our practice sessions. So we got discounts on basically every part of the car, powertrain, durability, and aerodynamics. Now you don't get the discount chassis. No, I'm not sure. So with our 1600 R&D points, we're going to make an upgrade. So let's see which one is the cheapest. So we just looked at aerodynamics. We're looking at chassis. Now we're looking at powertrains. And now we're going to look at durability. We had 2 durability upgrades completed. So they're going to be ready for the Miami race week. And we're going to make a upgrade to the ICE. Durability testing or something like that. As you can see, we are the, I think, 7th best team on the grid in terms of the car and R&D. And now we're just going to our qualifying session. And I'm just using the same car setup as my last season Miami race. Yep. And we're just doing some soft tires. The vehicle, I'm not replacing any parts. They're not worn down that much yet. So here we go into the qualifying session. I guess you can just see my hot lap with no commentary. As we're going down to the final 2 turns of the lap, looks like we are going to end up P5. So let's see the official position. Yep, P5. It looks like Max Verstappen is on pole position here in Miami. So let's see the grid order. Verstappen, Hamilton, Leclerc, Norris, me, Russell, Vettel, Sainz, Ricardo, Alonso, Gasly, Magnussen, Ocon, Stroll, Bottas, Sonoda, Zhou, Schwartzman, Piastri, Albon, Schumacher, and Latifi. Here's the rivalry breakdown with me and Ricardo. I outqualified him, so I'm gonna get more points than he is. And here's the team acclaim. I level up a little, Mick levels up a little, and the team levels up a little. And then we're just going back to this screen. Let's see what Mark has to say. It's going to be a dry race, the whole race. So now we're just going to start the race. And I'm just going to let Martin Brundle or Crofty speak about the Miami. circuit.
Sports and entertainment hub, which has hosted Super Bowls, Baseball World Series, numerous rock concerts, and now, for the first time, Formula One, with great opportunities for wheel-to-wheel battles featuring 19 corners, 3.36 miles long, and expected average speeds of 138 miles an hour. The Miami International Autodrome will be sure to create lots of chances to overtake. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Norris, Hughes, and Russell, Vettel, Sainz, Ricciardo, and Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Magnussen, Esteban Ocon, and Stroll, Bottas, Tsunoda, Guan Yu Zhou, and Robert Schwartzman, Oscar Piastri, Albon, Mick Schumacher, and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. Ant, it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
Here we go then, the formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? Well, we'll soon find out. So as all the cars reform the grids, the drivers will be hoping to get a strong start. They'll want to earn some valuable points from today's race, with final communications being done with their race engineers, ensuring the planned strategies are all in place.
Okay, that was the formation lap over. Here I am in P5. We're waiting for the 5 red lights to go. And out and away the race starts. I get a better start than Norris. I'm slowly overtaking where he's pushing me to the side. And try to go around the outside of Leclerc. Around turn 2. And the move sticks. There was a little wheel banging rubber to rubber contact right there. I just asked Mark for vehicle condition by accidentally pressed fuel, and it looks like Leclerc tried to make a move on me into that turn, but I stick my nose out in front and kept in front of him and kept that P3 podium position. Now I actually asked Mark for the vehicle condition, not pressing the fuel information this time, and he tells me that the car is A-okay, nothing to worry about. So I'm going around this little hairpin section. I think that's what it's called. So we call the Mickey Mouse section. I don't really know. But I'm right on the beauty, the rear wing of Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes. Going into this back straight. Activate my ERS. It's just floor or pedal to the metal, or pedal all the way down to the floor into this hard braking zone, and then going into the 2 last turns of the lap, and Max Verstappen got fastest lap of 133.042. We got 134.152. And as you can see, there was no action in lap 2. So I just skipped ahead, and the time is a 131.832. And Charles Leclerc got the fastest lap with a 131 point something. In the new, as you can see, nothing happened in that lap, so I got 131.343, and I took the fastest lap away from Charles Leclerc. I tried to make a move on Hamilton in the first turn. Of course, it doesn't stick. So I just go ahead and just try to stick with him. As you can see, my tires are starting to get a little worn. By lap 4, I'm already 18% on the fronts and then 20% in the rears. So the rear tires are sliding way more than the front tires are. My sector 1 for this lap was on red, so of course this isn't going to be the fastest lap. But I already have the fastest lap. And let's see if we can work some magic. Just get into this Mickey Mouse section, as the people call it, or the hairpin, I don't know what it's really called. Activate my ERS, going down this main straight. And activate my DRS since I am 1 second within Lewis Hamilton. And it looks like the Williams of Alexander Albon had an accident, because now there is a safety car. The safety car is coming out, not the virtual one. So me, Verstappen, and Hamilton decide to pit, and basically the rest of the grid behind us also decided to pit. I'm going into my pit box, and it looks like Esteban Ocon and the Alpine didn't pit, but basically everyone else did. So it looks like I'm gonna come out behind Ocon in P2, and since he didn't pit, he's gonna have to pit again, and that'll put me in a net P1 position. So that means this race, I basically have this race in the bag for that P1 slot, and I have the fastest lap as well. So it looks like I'm getting out of this weekend, and I'm gonna get the full 26 points. It looks like Mick just went in the pits, and here I am just behind Ocon in the safety car. And of course nothing happened in the safety car, so I just skipped ahead. Until where the safety car says it's gonna come in this lap. So we're on the back straight now after these couple of turns, and the field is gonna accelerate with Ocon leading the way, obviously. I'm just trying to get a good start. There we go. We are now racing again, but it's still yellow flags. No overtaking until the green flags, of course. The green flag racing, I'm activating my ERS. I stood in that slipstream of Ocon, and going to the first turn, I do overtake him. So, and of course, no DRS for the 2 laps after the race restart. And it looks like Sebastian Vettel in the McLaren just overtook Ocon as well. So from that safety car restart, the top 5 grid looks very different. Top 5 before the restart was like Verstappen, Hamilton, and me. Or I can remove the top 3, but I forgot their top 4 and 5. And it looks like Vettel's trying to make a move on me on my right side. He didn't stick the landing. But the top 5 now is me in P1, Vettel P2 in the McLaren. Looks like that team move is paying off for him, moving from the Aston Martin. P3 is Ocon in the Alpine, but I don't think he's going to end up P3 since he needs to make 1 pit stop in this race. And P4 is Gasly, P5 is Ricciardo in the Ferrari. Ricardo's my rival. Yes. And we just completed a lap after the safety car restart with a 132.153. And it looks like Fox is telling me I'm beating the Mick Schumacher by like 10 seconds. So I think by the end of the season, we might have to drop him. Because he hasn't scored any points. Maybe it's just the car, but in this lap was a 131.743. So maybe it was the car, but like I'm scoring points and like wins, as you can see. Yeah, so I think I might need to drop Nick. But like the half season contract renewal is coming up, so I'm just gonna renew his contract for the rest of the season. But after that, I'm just gonna try to find another teammate that maybe can get points for us for the Constructors Championship. And it can't just be me getting the points for the Constructors. See, the top 5 after Ocon had his pit stop, of course. It's me, Vettel, Gasly, Ricciardo, and now Stroll. Stroll in the top 5, that's pretty good in the Aston Martin. So, just completing lap 12 now after that whole rant about Mick Schumacher. And the time for lap 12 was a 131.941. Looks like no one's gonna beat our fastest lap. It looks like we are going to get the full 26 points. So, completing lap 13 now. It was a time of 132.029. And as you saw, the tires, our medium tires, they're getting pretty worn down now, but it is the fastest lap. It looks like Norris and Stroll are fighting for that P5 position, because now replacing P5 is Norris. So the two McLarens, if Norris can stick this P5, the two McLarens in the P5 is going to be a bunch of points for them in the Constructors Championship. And let's see if Lance Stroll and Aston Martin can fight back. Both Mercedes powered, of course. Then going in to this last lap, we set a red sector 1. So I don't think we're gonna beat my own time. Going to this technical section of the circuit, Miami. Yeah. You know, one time I was in Florida, I passed by the stadium. So I basically passed by the circuit because the circuit is in the stadium parking lot. So that's pretty cool. But going back to the race, I set a red sector 2. So going around the last 3 turns, two turns of the race, which these aren't good turns, these are like little kinks. We're doing the checker flag, our celebration noise or whatever, and we did it P1 full sweep, with the fastest point awarded to us. And driver of the day, Lance Stroll, I'd probably agree. He took that Aston Martin tractor to P6, I think P6. And yeah, look at our team celebrating our win in Miami. Man, oh my goodness, look at the wing. There's a big hole in the front of the wing. Why didn't Mark tell me about this? He told me the car was fine. Well, even with the hole in the front wing, we did take that P1 position. It looks like Ricciardo was P3, and P2 was Sebastian Vettel. Sebastian Vettel back in the top 3. Oh my goodness, that zoom in shot makes that hole in the front of the car even look worse. But there's us walking up to the podium celebration. Since this is Miami, I guess you consider this my home race, even though there's 2 US races. So they're both my home race. But yeah, look at that grid. Look at that podium celebration. Us P1, P2 Vettel, P3 Ricciardo. If only this was real life. Having Ricciardo and Vettel back onto the podiums, that'd be amazing. But Vettel, of course, is now retired, and Ricciardo is a Red Bull. What is he? He's like the 3rd driver. I guess.
So let's review the
But
updated
both of them
driver
won't be back
standings.
onto the grid.
News
Here's
increases
the
their championship
positions.
lead.
Us,
Let's
P1,
focus on the
Vettel,
driver of the
Ricardo,
day,
Gasly,
Anthony
Verstappen,
Davidson.
Stroll,
Media pit.
Alonso,
Well, on
Hamilton,
Stroll would be my
Sainz,
pick. He managed to
Bottas,
keep a cool head
Schwartzman,
today whilst
Tsunoda,
pushing through the field.
Magnussen,
It's time to
Leclerc,
check out the
Russell,
constructors'
Zhou,
standings. The
Piastri,
lead at the top
Schumacher,
comes down
Ocon,
after a strong
Latifi, Norris,
weekend
and
from the
Albon.
challenging pack.
Of course,
Meanwhile,
Albon and
Ferrari have
Norris, they
improved their
didn't finish.
position. A strong weekend for them
What?
as they fight their way towards the
But
top.
here's the
Well, that was
standings
certainly an
after the
exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure
this
to join
race.
us for more
We're
exciting
still
Formula One
P1,
action
but
very
the
soon.
gap to P2 is getting very slimmer. And looks like I beat Ricardo in the rivalry breakdown for this race. So I have 19 and he has 11. Yes, here's the acclaim. I level up, Mick levels up, but barely. The team levels up. I mean, not levels up, like a whole nother number, but like getting there. And we get the full money from our sponsors, which is 500, half a mil. So going back to the team, basically, we're choosing the activities to do before the next race weekend, and we are going to choose weight training for the second driver, of course. You do. What are we gonna do? We're gonna do vehicle PR filming and a durability equipment upgrade. And we're just gonna advance the time and then stop it when we have the weekly resources so we can get them R&D points and money, you know, if we want to upgrade anything. That's our R&D progress. That's our progress history. Looks like we dropped down to the 10th best team, so that's not that good. And here's just a chart for season 1. We were the worst team. At least we're not the worst team this time. We need a lot of R&D to do. So we have one powertrain and one durability upgrade coming in just advanced time. And now it's the Spanish Grand Prix. You know, Sainz and Alonso. So join us for the next episode in Spain. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and get us to 185 subscribers. Thank you for 180.